final segment. Another really good company, and I know you've heard about this one too, Bill, is Equity Trust Deck out of Westlake, Ohio. Very, very real estate oriented. It is the Investor Guys podcast. It is Thursday. How you doing there, Bill?
I am doing terrific, sir. Got my Tony Robbins hat on today. Been doing a little Tony Robbins training. So we're in day 3 of the Own Your Future Challenge, a 5-day challenge.
I saw him doing that. Yes, I saw that last week. I saw the promotions for that.
Good stuff. I enjoy me some Tony. Dude's got it down. So
I know he's taller than I am, which is pretty amazing because
which is a statement in and of itself.
Yeah. And he has big, giant baseball mitts for hands.
Big dude, man. And then Dean's a little guy anyway. So Dean Graziosi, who I've known for many years, and respect him greatly for what he's been able to achieve. And Dean's a little dude, so they're very much the Mutt and Jeff look on the motivational world side. Dean's, I don't even know if Dean still teaches real estate or not. I know he still owns the brand, but I don't know if he's got so many other things going on or not. But did a great job. Dean and Robert Allen and I and 2 other guys had dinner in Vegas years ago. You know, Dean came out of the automobile world. He came out of, he owned a body shop. He had gotten inspired by Toni and wrote his first course, which was called Motor Millions. And it was a course on how to wholesale cars and how to get a car from somebody that, or like get them to co-sign it to you and you to be able to run the ads and get it sold and pick up a spread on it. And I don't know how it did. That was my first exposure to him. But he was moving out of that completely into real estate. And so this was, late 90s, early 2000s, and we all had dinner in Vegas, and Dean was there to pick Bob's brain, and Bob said, "Oh, it's a terrible idea, Dean. Don't even think the market's turning down right now for the seminar business, and blah blah blah," and did everything he could to squash it, and it just, you could tell Dean was crestfallen because Bob was one of his heroes. And thank goodness he didn't listen to Bob, because he's gone on to do way more business in total than Bob's done. So if you're interesting stuff, and what are we going to talk about today? Let's talk about money.
We need to have some come to Jesus conversations, as we've talked about before with listeners, and money and understanding money, but more important than understanding money and understanding options for money and different ways to get the money, because we talked about that before. We need to talk about how this applies to what's happening today. We are seeing, all of you are noticing, more commercials for gold, more commercials for silver and precious metals. If you're on Instagram, you're getting bombarded with Forex, you're getting bombarded with Bitcoin and everything. The reason is, and you know this because you've heard it before, with all of the debt that our government is creating, they're essentially printing money. That means the value of our dollar is dropping. It's going down. Sooner or later, how much it's going to crash, how long that crash is going to last, don't know. No one's even ready to even speculate on that. But sooner or later, and everybody knows this is coming, the stock market and bonds at the same time are going to tank. So we're going to have an issue. We're already seeing that happen with commodities. Commodities are already going crazy because of the price of gas. And with this latest shutdown for the pipeline on the ransomware, it's just going nuts. So commodities are all over the place, and they're going to fall apart and be just difficult to figure out. So even if you're in commodities, which most people don't have their 401K or their IRA in, but even if you're investing yourself in commodities, you're looking at a very, very volatile market right now that's only going to continue to get worse. So where do you put your money to where it's going to be safeguarded? Because you have to yourself be seeing the writing on the wall. You have to yourself be saying, what am I going to do? how long can I ride this out? And at what point am I going to have to you are going to take everything for the custodial company of this trust so that I'm not getting these losses. Now, if you have an IRA and you have a 401K that is being managed by somebody else, you don't really get a choice. When your account tanks, your account tanks. You can't take the money out. You can't put it someplace else. It's under somebody else's control. So we're going to talk about making that money something that you control and how to do it. 401K. How to put it into real estate, which is a tangible, real investment, something that you can actually go see, walk around, walk through, kick it, touch it, whatever else. It is a tangible investment. It's not just numbers on a screen. It shows that you may get issued copies of or not get issued copies of, depending upon what your stock situation is. So I'm going to let Bill lead off, because Bill, for those of you who don't know, which is, you must not be watching the show very much.
Just about.
Bill started off in Wall Street. That is how Bill started investing. That is what drove Bill to invest in real estate, is his experience with Wall Street. So Bill, I'll let you kick it off with
a mobile home park.
What's wrong with the situation that we've got right now?
You can have Section 8. You can whatever. You
mentioned inflation, and it's really the devaluing of the dollar is what inflation is. And we are going to, I'm afraid, revisit a term that was created during one of the other great Democratic fiasco presidencies. The term that is used in the industry, and the term that was created was hyperinflation. A compliant custodian. We're going to see that again. We're headed there. You got to understand the motivations that the administration has. They want to break our country. And I know, by the way, we don't get paid for that. It's not a paid endorsement. They don't sponsor the show or anything. It is, the Great Reset is a real thing. Other gallons out there. What a conspiracy theorist I was. Both of us have a Davos meeting last year. They just publicly said it's time for us to accelerate the Great Reset. Well, the Great Reset is about taking the financial system and completely restructuring it. And what that restructure does is takes all the rich and makes them significantly richer. And if you're not a part of that elite class, you're totally 100% letting go of your money. And we see that happening right now with things like all of our prices showing up like that. I had a guy last week, people say it's a friend of mine, that we got this together, and we were talking about gas prices. They really don't care about that. I beg to differ. They do. But I've been on that side of the game. You fight to keep every dollar. I don't think it's in the sand. I think it's 30 people myself. Go take a look at dollar gas pumps right now, and every day that they get to keep that, they're getting raises. And go back and look at what I do for the inauguration. A new client right now, and in most places, it's at least $1. Getting the money out of them, and it's got no signs of slowing down. Show up somewhere with a Smith & Wesson break, they're just come back and tell you how to fight hardest fight I've ever seen. They've withdrawn everything and hang around with her. She's a novelist, so not serious over there. Real estate that's not what this is. Go back with, and so she'll go back and go, yes.
A lot of real estate training programs claim that they will make you a millionaire, but how many of them will guarantee it? The Millionaire Blueprint comes with a millionaire guarantee. I guarantee that if you use the strategies and you use the formulas that you learn in the Millionaire Blueprint, you will be a millionaire. I guarantee that with a double your money back guarantee. Whether you have hundreds of thousands of dollars to invest or absolutely nothing, it doesn't matter. I'm going to show you how to start investing and be a millionaire guaranteed. Now, I can't tell you all about it in this short amount of time, so go to the guaranteedmillionaireblueprint.com. That's the guaranteedmillionaireblueprint.com. Watch the videos there. Read about the guarantee. Read more about what we offer with the Millionaire Blueprint. Get signed up. I'll see you in Palm Beach.
11 months out of the year, Bill and I host real estate buyers events in cities like Cleveland, Ohio, where we ourselves invest and see great returns. We show investors the types of strategies we're using, the types of properties we're using. We introduce them to people here on the ground and the resources that they can use to get started right away. Day 4 of this event, we're actually touring properties and making offers on properties. This event was designed to put properties in your portfolio right away, high-performing properties. Read more about the Real Estate Buyers event. Get registered. We'll see you at the next event, realestatebuyersevent.com. And we're back. And just before the break, Bill was telling us about...
Preaching.
What's that?
I was preaching.
You're preaching. And long and short of it is, our situation is changing. Our economy is poised for a change. And like it or not, that means that our stock market is going to crash. We're going to lose value in it. Whether it crashes or not, we're still going to lose value in it. That's a given. Everybody knows that. If you have your money invested in the stock market on your own, or a 401K, or an IRA, or I'm going to tell you, even honestly, Bitcoin or Forex or anything else, all of those things have to do with the economy. And yeah, Bitcoin may be going crazy right now, but what happens when you're no longer able to access it because other things break down, infrastructure breaks down, the internet breaks down, whatever else, what happens to your Bitcoin investment? The value of your dollar, maybe your Bitcoin keeps going up, but the value of your dollar keeps going down. So you have $1 million worth of Bitcoin, but now your $1 million is worth $500. Your Bitcoin still is at the same rate, but your dollar is no longer worth anything. So what is your Bitcoin actually going to be worth?
Yeah. So we look at this thing and we go, okay, based on inflation and however bad it gets. And my grandmother taught me this. My grandmother was an adult in the Depression, and she's been dead for many years, but she was an adult and lived through the Depression. And she said what got them through the Depression was they owned 7 duplexes. And of course, they were, if you know, this is an old term, depending on what part of the country you're from, shotgun houses, which are duplexes that are just long and skinny. They're 1 room wide, basically, and you go from 1 room to the next all the way back through the property.
I was explaining those to Violet yesterday, literally, because we drove by one. She goes, is that a mobile home or something? I said, no, it's called a shotgun. I said,
house,
straight through.
So my grandmother and granddad owned 7 of them, and the Depression hits. And she said that was the only thing that saved them during the Depression, because they had a real asset, because money was pretty much worthless. She would take eggs for rent payments, take eggs, chickens, milk, whatever anybody could do. And she said, I think she said, if memory serves correct, they were the rents at the time were $5 to $7 a month. And so, but the key to it was there was a real asset, a tangible asset that no matter what the economy's doing, we have to have. That's what housing is. We talk about the stock market a lot. We talk about the bond market, but think about it, whether you're in those markets or not is immaterial, because your life, and I can say this from personal experience, when I left the financial services industry and started in real estate, it took me about 3 years. I spent 10 years in financial services, mostly as an investment banker and in a private firm. And when all of that was divested, it took me about 3 years to liquidate all the stock that I had, because how we got paid in the investment banking firm was with stocks and warrants. Well, a lot of that was 144 stock or restricted stock, so you couldn't just dump it. You sold it over time. And so it took me about 3 years to get completely out of the stock market. I have not been back in the stock market at all since 1997. my lifestyle hasn't changed one iota because of the stock market. It didn't matter that I was in it or that I wasn't in it. Now, if I'd stayed in it, things go up, things go down, but I shifted my asset and my asset gathering to real estate. So I just want to tell you, you can live the rest of your life and never buy another share of stock, and it's not going to make any difference. You'll probably like your life better. I know I like mine better because the longer I stayed out of it, I learned a little too much while I was in there to be able to continue to live with the fantasy that those stocks were actually worth what the market was saying they were worth. Now, the market determines everything, but when you get to a point where the market turns against a stock and it doesn't have the hard assets, and look, you're not going to find a company out there that has hard assets to back up the market value of the company if they have any size to them at all. So when you look at real estate, if I've got my money in something that's tangible, and we get into nasty stuff, and I think we're going to, I think we're going to see the hyperinflation. I've said that already. That's going to cause a lot of other issues. And as that happens, if you've got real estate, you still have something that people have to have. You have to be able to sleep somewhere. And I know Kevin and I agree on this. We prefer it be indoors. So you got to have something to live in. Now, if you've got right now, if you're getting loans on your property, especially if you're getting long-term loans, I'm going to suggest to you that you not get an ARM, you not get an adjustable rate, that you get even if you're paying more, you get a locked in rate, because as all of this happens, you don't want to be in an adjustable rate mortgage. So you want to have a lock-in rate, and you can deal with, if you've got property, it's significantly easier to deal with the rest of the inflation that's going on. And of course, your home or your houses are a hedge against that inflation, because they're going to go up just like everything else is going to go up. So what we think you should be doing with retirement funds? Well, we think a portion of those funds should certainly be in a real estate investment. Now, we're going to talk about being self-directed, whether it's 401K, SEP, IRA, whatever it needs to be, whatever format that is works for you. I love the 401K concept personally, but whatever concept works for you, if it's possible, you want to have all those retirement dollars in a self-directed account so that you can make those decisions and you can say, hey, you know what? I don't want to be in a mutual fund. I don't want to be in a REIT. I don't want to be in this. I don't want to be in that. I want to be in real individual property that I can control. And you can do that through your retirement account. There's a lot of great self-directed custodials out there. My absolute favorite is Quest. They're based down in Houston, Texas, but they are so real estate friendly and real estate investor friendly. It is just amazing. They are the easiest people in the planet that I have found. I've worked with a dozen or so different custodials through the years. They're the easiest to work with, and they know our game inside out. So they can keep you from making a mistake from a paperwork standpoint, any of that. But they're just really great, easy folks to work with. Quest Custodial out of Houston. So we are on a break. We'll get back with what you can be doing in those, how you can be doing it after we come back from the break. See you on the other side.
See you in a minute.
Once a month, with the exception of December, Bill and I go to markets where we have experience and we host a real estate buyers event. These are markets that have great return potential for your real estate portfolio. We're going to show you the properties that we buy. We're going to show you where to buy, where not to buy, the strategies to use to make great income from these properties. We're also going to show you resources and individuals here on the ground that you can use to start building your team so that you can repeat this process over and over. The real estate buyers events are designed to put high-performing properties in your portfolio right away.
If you're interested in hearing more about the Real Estate Buyers Event, realestatebuyersevent.com. That's realestatebuyersevent.com. Read more about the events, check out the schedule, and register. We'll see you there. GuaranteedMillionaireBlueprint.com. That's GuaranteedMillionaireBlueprint.com. You owe it to yourself to go there and check it out. If you are ready to become a real estate investor millionaire, like $1 million profit cash flow in your pocket every single year or more, GuaranteedMillionaireBlueprint.com. While you're there, check out the guarantee. Yeah, that's right. There is a guarantee that if you take this program and you follow what you learn in this program, you will become a millionaire. In fact, I'm going to return double your tuition back if this program doesn't make you a millionaire. Check it out. GuaranteedMillionaireBlueprint.com. That's GuaranteedMillionaireBlueprint.com. We are back with the Investor Guys podcast. This is our final segment. Another really good company, and I know you've heard about this one too, Bill, is Equity Trust Deck out of Westlake, Ohio. Very real estate oriented. I refer a lot of people there, especially the ones who invest in Ohio, because they can actually walk in and they will sit down with you in their conference room and go over how the process works. One more thing I wanted to point out too, if you are investing in stock, especially if you're a day trader, you know this. You're spending your morning, you get up and you're looking at stock. And even if you're working a regular job, you're still checking your phone all day long to see what's going on with your stock, whether you need to put in a buy order, a sell order, or whatever it is. Okay. All day long, you are married to this thing. I almost use an expletive there. You're married to this market. Okay. It's stressful, but it also takes up a lot of your time. And if you're a day trader, you're literally sitting in front of, and I did this for a while, I know, you're sitting in front of a handful of computer screens watching what's going on, and maybe watching different cable shows talking about what stocks they would buy if they were buying stocks, which seems odd that they're not buying stocks because they're doing a show on it, but that takes up a lot of time. I promise you, real estate does not take up that much time. It certainly doesn't take up that much of my life. It certainly doesn't take up that much of Bill's life, and it won't take up that much of your life. First getting started, yes, because you've got a learning curve. You're going to have to get some experience in. It'll take up a little more time, but it's not going to be a full-time job. This is something you can make millions on, literally, your first year, just putting in part-time work. And as you start reinvesting the money, and we're going to do our next show on reinvesting your money, but as you start reinvesting that money, the amount of time that you spend on it goes down more and more and more every single year. So let's talk in this final segment about how it is, the actual process that allows somebody to start investing their own 401K, their own IRA, whether it's a SEP, a Roth, or just a standard traditional IRA. The process that goes through that, what is required as far as a trustee and everything else, and how that works, and how simple it is to literally start that process and get it done. Do you want to handle that, Bill, or you want me to do that?
Yeah, well, we can both chime in on that. And you mentioned Mid-Ohio Security. Well, you mentioned Equities Trust, but their parent was Mid-Ohio Securities, and Dick Dessage years ago was a good friend of mine, and his son, and Equities Trust Corporation was born out of Mid-Ohio Securities.
It was Mid-Ohio, then Equity Trust Co., and then they changed their name to Equity Trust Deck.
So, but anyway, so if you're at a custodial that does not have, just because they have self-directed accounts, does not mean that they internally allow for you to do real estate. They have the right as a company to be able to say, hey, we do that, we don't do that. And so you need to find out. And if they say we don't do that, then you want to go to a company like an Equities Trust, like a Quest that does a lot of real estate. In fact, the whole retirement side of back when they were Mid-Ohio and now Equities Trust. That company started because there was a void in the marketplace, and that void was the accounts to be able to buy real estate in. It was always allowed from a government standpoint, but nobody wanted to handle the paperwork because it is different, and the margins were significantly smaller than the money that all these custodials make trading stock and mutual funds in retirement accounts. So they just passed on it. They was like, we're not going to do that. And so Desich was the first guy to come out and build a company based on hitting this niche market, which is us real estate investors, and teaching us that, hey, you can do this in your account. You just have to have a custodial that's willing to. So you need to find that out first. And if they're not, you need to go to a company that is suitable. So the first thing that you're going to do is you're going to open an account with typically as minimal as possible at the new custodial firm if you need to have a new relationship. And once you get that account open, they say, okay, it's active, it's open, then you can transfer. You are not, and make sure you hear this, you are not withdrawing your money. You are not touching the funds. You are not taking a distribution.
No, you're not paying any fees as far as removing the funds. You are going to pay a fee for the custodial company for the trust, okay?
Yep.
And that's an annual fee or a monthly fee, depending upon how you set it up. But you're not paying the fee for an early withdrawal. You're not paying a fee for using the funds or anything else. So
it's a non-taxable event. You got to remember that. Non-taxable.
Yeah. Not removing the funds. The funds still stay in a government-backed IRA, government-approved 401K.
All you're doing is changing the custodial. They transfer. Your old firm transfers the money directly to the new firm. Other than signing off saying, this is what I want done, you're not involved. They handle that. So then once you get to the new firm and it's now your funds have transferred over and you're funded, you got a lot of options. You can own part of an LLC that owns real estate. You can have rental property in there. There's a lot of things. You can do flip properties in there. You can do just about, I'm trying to think, I'm going to say it pretty simply.
You can't purchase alcohol for an investment.
No, but I'm talking from a real estate standpoint.
Right, yeah.
You can do just about anything you want from a real estate standpoint. And any real estate asset. So you can own a mobile home park. You can own self-storage. You can have Section 8. You can whatever. You can't own your own home. That's a thing they frown on. But from an investment standpoint, whatever you're doing, it's likely you're going to be able to do it inside your self-directed IRA, SEP, 401, whatever it is. You're going to be able to do that as long as it's self-directed and you're with the term that is used in the industry, a compliant custodial. A compliant custodial is simply one that says, hey, yeah, we're okay with you doing real estate in here, and we'll provide you all the guidance to do that. And both the firms that we've talked about, and by the way, neither one, we don't get paid for that. It's not a paid endorsement. They don't sponsor the show or anything. We just love both of those companies. There's other good ones out there. These are just two that both of us have long relationships with and have done a ton of business with. And I've done a ton of business with Equities Trust through the years. And so just take a look at who to get it to, initiate the transfer, know that they are going to fight you very politely with a smile on letting go of your money, because every day that they keep your money, they're collecting interest on it that you're not getting any part of. So when I heard people say sometimes, they'll go, well, gosh, Bill, I've got 50,000. This is a $3 billion company. They really don't care about that. Oh, I beg to differ. They do. I've been on that side of the game. You fight to keep every dollar, because if you got 30 people that have 50,
yep.
Yeah, that's a big dollar amount. And that's what they look at. And every day that they get to keep that, they're getting that interest. And so they'll do, I'm helping a new client right now that with Vanguard, and getting the money out of them. I said, we're going to have to show up somewhere with a Smith & Wesson, because they're just it's the hardest time I've ever seen. They've come up with everything, and she's a novice, so not being aware of that. They're saying this, and I'm like, yeah, go back with this. And so she'll go back and they'll go, yeah, you can do it. Oh yeah, but now this. And so it's taken about twice as long as it normally does because they're just fighting tooth and nail.
Here's the thing to remember. If this is a situation, bottom line, this is your money, this is your account, and you tell them, we can do this the easy way or we can do it the hard way. I'm not going to argue back and forth. You transfer it to the company that I ask you to transfer it to, or I'm going to go ahead and get my attorney involved. This is my account. I want it closed. I want it moved someplace else. You have every right, absolute every right.
Amen.
There's nothing that they have that can keep the money there. So just tell them, bottom line, this is my account. I want it moved. I don't have the time. I don't have the energy. I don't have the patience to argue with you about it. Get it done, or I'm going to call an attorney. And you're going to easily be able to find an attorney who's going to want that case because they're going to pay all the fees because they're the ones who are standing in the way of doing what you are legally able to do. I want to really quick, though, before we close out the show, point out a couple of benefits of having the 401k and the IRA under your control. Now, you can choose to invest that money wherever you want. We're talking real estate here. You can choose to invest that wherever you want. Now, you may not have, like Bill was just talking about, they have $50,000 in their IRA. They may need $100,000. Maybe they want to buy an apartment building that's $500,000. They need $50,000 more in order to do that. They have $50,000 sitting in their bank, but it's not in their IRA. They don't take that $50,000 and put it into their IRA or their 401k. They now partner with their IRA or their 401k. So the way that works is just like any other partnership, okay? I'm using even numbers here so that you can see it's a 50-50. So let's say it's a 50-50 partnership. 50% of the proceeds, the profits from that apartment building now go to their IRA. It now goes to their 401k. It now grows that IRA. It now grows that 401k. 50% goes to them. Now, we're going to do a show on Tuesday about compounding our profits. This is a perfect example because what you are doing is you are compounding your profits through your IRA and your 401k. Now, all the money that you put back into your IRA, into your 401k, it goes back in without a tax event until you take it out, depending upon what type of structure you've set that up, a Roth, a SEP, a traditional, whatever it is, that's going to be different when you take the money out. But it all goes back in without being taxed. It's a non-taxable event. You have access to that profit to reinvest it also. So if you continue to keep reinvesting that money in your IRA, in addition to reinvesting the money that you've made, you're talking about a win-win situation, literally. And you absolutely have to watch the show on Tuesday because we're going to talk about compounding your profits, okay? And I'm going to get some numbers, some slides together that are going to show you how amazing that is. This is the perfect avenue. This is the perfect tool for you to use. This is your money sitting there. It needs to work for you. You're probably not making 50% plus right now on your money in your IRA or your 401k. You should be making at least 50% or more in real estate. So this is money that you are going to have in addition to the profit that you've built from investing in real estate. This is money you're going to have as retirement. And you could literally turn $50,000 into over $1 million in 10 years or less investing in real estate in your IRA or your 401k. Now, we're over again, but make sure you watch that show. Now, real quick before we go, a couple of things. Show number 100 is going to be Thursday, May 27th. Now, we're going to do a special show, obviously. And then right after the show, Bill and I are going to do a special. This is going to be right about 4 o'clock because we always go over and out and we haven't done the show yet, so I don't know how long it's going to be. But somewhere around 4 o'clock, right after the show, we're going to do a special Facebook Live. Where we're going to talk directly to anybody that wants to join us, maybe take some questions and just celebrate our 100th episode of the Investor Guys podcast. So that is Thursday, May 27th. Please join us for that on our Investor Guys podcast page on Facebook. If you're not already on that page, checking it out, go like it, follow us, get the updates for when we have new shows coming out. What else was there, Bill? There were a couple other points that you want to talk about. Solid gold. Make sure you mention your solid
so
gold script.
Get the free 1 hour training at realestateradicals.com, realestateradicals.com/solid gold, /solid gold, realestateradicals.com/solid gold. It's a free 1 hour training on private money, taught by me. So, and there's a lot of things I'm pretty good at. There's a few things I'm damn good at. And at the top of that list is private money. So go watch that because it empowers you to be able to buy as much real estate as you want to have. I had a guy the other day asked me about it. He said, could you use this on a different type of business other than just real estate? I said, absolutely, you can use this. And I've helped a lot of my clients through the years with other businesses using the same process to fund those businesses. So go check it out. I think you'll like it. Nothing to buy there. It's a free 1 hour training, and it's realestateradicals.com/solid gold.
And you also do a regular Thursday, just web event.
Yep, I do
tell us about that.
Every Thursday night, I do a webinar. And when you go to realestateradicals.com and /solid gold, what I'm going to ask is for you to give me your name and email for that free training. Well, every Thursday night, I do at 8 o'clock Central Time, I do a real estate webinar, and we do fun stuff. This week, we'll have to do a show about this sometime. This week, we're going to talk about the secret of this formula and the 3 profit secrets that are hidden in that formula, which is pretty cool stuff. So it's just always about real estate. It's always about getting you deeper knowledge that you can take out and use to go buy real estate and not get away from just learning and get focused on results. I love Tony Robbins. I've mentioned that several times. One of his favorite things is about massive action, and that you're so much better off to take imperfect, massive action than to get it all figured out and make it perfect and then go try to do something. The person that's just jumping out there, there's a great book. I wish I could remember the guy's name, but it's called Ready, Fire, Aim. And it's about taking action. And that's what we're going to do always on the webinar, is give you actionable steps that you can go take and put right into the marketplace.
So go get signed up. What he said in way more words was, go get signed up at Real Estate Radicals so you can be a part of his regular Thursday webinars. Extra information, doesn't cost you anything to be a part of that as well. More information you can get on real estate, the more education you can get on real estate, the more foundation you can get on real estate. It's only going to help. It's not going to hurt. Okay.
Yep.
So take advantage of those resources, and thank you for joining us. And we will see you guys back here on Tuesday. And don't forget to set your calendar there for May 27th for our 100th show. I'm excited, Bill.
Yeah, that's going to be so cool.
100 shows. So
it has flown by. Oh my gosh. Not too many things that I do. They're as much fun as the time that we could spend together doing this. And
we may have to mix up some margaritas and some chips and stuff like that for Thursday. Yeah. So
give the girls a hug for me. And
I will talk to you soon. We'll see the rest of you guys on Tuesday.
See you, everybody.